nutrition and a chef's perspective can meet and elevate your potential through what you put on your fork, your spoon, your knife. Hi, I'm Mareya, otherwise known as the Fit Foodie. I'm a chef, holistic nutritionist, author, inventor, and mom. And I want to welcome you to my podcast. It's called Recipes for Your Best Life. And with every episode, I'm peeling back the onion on fitness, nutrition, health, wellness, and family. The truth is, you're the chef of your life. And for every important pillar, there's a great recipe worth sharing. So every week, we'll explore them together. Think of it as food for thought that you can really sink your teeth into. So join me, and let's squeeze the joy out of this life, because you only get one. Can I get a fork, yeah? I think we can all agree life's way too short for boring food, right? It deserves to be filled with fresh, flavorful, mouth-watering dishes that you and your family are excited to share together. And guess what? Now it's so easy to broaden your cooking skills and try out fun recipes. And here's the best part. You don't need a bunch of fancy appliances to do it. With Panasonic's Home Chef 4-in-1 multi-oven, you can, get this, heat, fry, bake, and broil your way to foodie heaven. Yep, it's a microwave, broiler, air fryer, and convection oven all wrapped up into one appliance. So smart. So whether you're trying out a new food trend or your grandma's kind of complicated recipe, or maybe a fusion dish you've been dying to try, or maybe one of my dishes from my book, this multi-oven makes your cooking experience a really enjoyable one. So start thinking of all those recipes and dishes you've been dying to try out. Now's the time, because this multi-oven makes even the most complicated recipes super simple. I love super simple. It's the 4-in-1 that inspires your inner chef to try daring new dishes with confidence. So to receive special offers, head over to PanasonicKitchen.com and become a Panasonic Kitchen Insider. All right, you may have heard of fake news, but listen to this headline. Woman claims she no longer needs solid food. Instead, praises breatharianism. Breatharian. Is that a word even? So basically what I'm hearing is she is no longer eating food. Instead, she's living on air. What is happening in the world? I mean, these types of headlines slay me and really kind of anger me, because here's the problem. People are actually going to believe that garbage. There is a never-ending gerbil wheel of off-the-wall recommendations that masquerade as health advice. And they come from people that claim that they're so credible and claim that they have all of this experience. But this? I mean, so this woman on Instagram who reportedly no longer needs to eat and just drinks and gulps air is somebody that we're supposed to trust? Huh. Well, I never studied that technique when I was studying nutrition and culinary arts, but if the thought of gulping LA air sounds appetizing, I mean, knock yourself out. But sadly, to me, it just sounds like another kind of eating disorder. And I know about eating disorders because I lived 10 years of my life in the hell of one. And let me tell you, friends, it's not a good place to be. Here's the deal. Logic dictates otherwise, but the truth is many people will hop on board because they see a thin person who's magically getting results. And everything on Instagram is real, right? The truth is, food is so intrinsic to our DNA and our well-being. It's not only a universal bond that brings us together, it feeds our minds, our creativity, our ability to cope and manage stress and make critical decisions, which At this point of time in history, we have never needed a clearer mind than now. So not only is food necessary for our survival, there's a component of food that affects our genetic expression, which helps to determine how healthy we are and how long we might live. It's called epigenetics, and we pass that on from generation to generation. Plus, food is delicious. It's forking delicious, if I might say so myself. And our love affair with food started the moment we began drinking our mother's milk, that perfect umami flavor. So why doesn't good food go hand in hand with healthy food? You know, instead of feeling like we constantly have to restrict and diet and deprive, why can't good food and health be synonymous? So let me dive into this a little bit deeper. Good for you, good tasting food that feeds your body and your mind and your spirit and your hormones and makes you go, are all the same food. And if you are what you eat, I don't think anybody wants to be fast, cheap, and mediocre. Do you? The ability to cook and feed yourself, to me, is a life skill that we must teach our kids and every generation to come. You know, it is very easy right now to go out and grab something. Convenience food, fast food, microwave meals. You know, you don't even have to get out of your car to get a Starbucks, y'all. But does this way of feeding our mind and our body and our spirit really serve us as human beings? You know, many of us have chosen certain ways to eat. Maybe some foods agree with us more than others. I personally have a hard time with a lot of gluten and a lot of dairy, so I limit those, not completely delete them, but I limit them because I know I'm going to pay for it, okay? But we are created as omnivores. And because we have opposable thumbs, we get to choose what we eat. And we get to actually express opinion, unlike other creatures around us that pretty much are just programmed to either graze or kill and eat what is around them. But we get to choose. And there are a lot of choices out there. I say the fork in the road is the fork between what you just eat because you're hungry and your brain is like, feed me, or maybe just your salivary glands or the smells, or hey, it just looks good and I'm going to eat it. Or you eat because you are feeding the whole you. And I'll say, and I may get some heat for this, and I'm willing to take that on, judging by the rate of disease and health issues, we probably need to give way more of a fork about what we're sticking in our mouths. I have really dedicated my career to this, and especially over the last, I would say, 12 years. I even wrote a book about it. If you've never heard of it, it's called Eat Like You Give a Fork, The Real Dish on Eating to Thrive. It came out last year. And in that book, I dive into my 8 essential strategies that help you really begin to see food differently. And it starts with your taste buds. If you train yourself, and you can, to crave differently, you will eat differently, you will feel differently, and you will become a different person. I know that's a very bold statement, but I am living proof, and thousands of others that have done this are too. Now, what does that look like? Well, if you grew up eating a lot of sugar, you know, you open up your pantry and pretty much what you see is cereal and, you know, sugary snacks, and, you know, you open up your refrigerator and you basically see the same thing. You have one-dimensional taste buds. And that means the idea of a salad may put you into some sort of coronary situation because it's scary. You see people slurping down green smoothies and you're wondering how the heck do they stomach that? And that's because you've trained your taste buds and that has trained your brain to crave in a certain way. But you can rewire. There is hope. And there's hope for everybody. It doesn't matter if you are a 5-year-old or a 45-year-old with 5-year-old taste buds, you can still retrain and crave differently. And I will tell you from personal experience, when you do this, when you follow the 8 strategies and you remake your kitchen, you retrain your taste buds, you refocus your body on what serves it, you retrain yourself to eat in a pattern that helps boost your metabolism, you will change. And I dare say 100% you will become a happier person. When your food house gets in order, and I've seen this again and again, your joy factor goes up too. And the core elements that go into that book and just my practice in general over my 7 years now in the food world, spending time as a chef and as a holistic nutrition coach and as somebody that's helped to develop recipes and speak and create, all kinds of different things, being a signature chef for the Daniel Plan and the New York Times bestseller, lots of different experience in writing, talking, cooking, presenting food. This is what I found. These core elements that make up this book were developed over that 27 years immersed in food and watching what changes people's behavior. Because I will contend that our relationship with food says something about our relationship with ourselves and the people around us. When I was at my lowest low, I did not want to be around people. I felt very reclusive. I felt very sad. I felt very unfulfilled. I immersed myself in shallow things that didn't bring me true joy. And I was not happy. I was losing hair by the handful. Yes, I was thin, but emaciated is not a pretty sight. And look, I am not passing judgment on anybody. Everybody has their own battle to go to town on, okay? But what I will say is there is a universal truth, and that the fastest way to health can either come from what's in your medicine cabinet, or it can come from the cabinet that is your refrigerator and pantry. And most people choose the first one because it's a quick fix. But I have seen it time and time again, when people choose to eat better, it literally changes them almost instantaneously, within days. And my reset, my taste bud reset, is an 8-day reset. You will start to crave differently, you'll start to feel differently, and you'll even start to make different decisions about not only what you eat, but how you choose to feel joy in your life. And dang it, we all deserve that. But we have been fooled and lied to for so many years, thinking that the path to happiness is going to come from just doing whatever you want. Have you ever wondered, is rinsing my produce with the water that comes out of the sink that I don't even drink enough to really clean it? Well, then you're one of the smartest people I know, because you're absolutely right. It's not enough. That's why we created the only all-natural and patented line of food wash and wipes, and it's called Eat Cleaner. It's tasteless, odorless, and lab tested, and it removes up to 99.9% of the residue that water can't, including pesticides, wax, soil, and junk that can carry bacteria that can really make you sick. Plus, we formulated it to help extend the shelf life of your fresh produce too, and that'll save you money. When your berries are lasting up to 10-12 days, you know that's a good thing. It helps your produce last up to 5 times longer using a natural blend of fruit acids and antioxidants. So there's no chemicals. It's just clean eating fun. And this can help save your family an average of over $500 per year. Make it easy on yourself. Reduce weight.